Hey everybody, it's Space Coast. Fishing just south of Cocoa Beach near Patrick Space Force Base. Kind of a slow start today. Caught 3 fish, 1 strike on the shark rods. First fish of the day coming in. It's a little bit after 7 o'clock. I don't know if you can hear it in the background, but I'm near the Space Force Base. Reveille just played. It doesn't feel very big, so we'll see what we got here. I'm not even sure it's still on there now. Felt like it was on there. I had a little tugging, but yeah, it's on there. It's just tiny. First fish of the day, unfortunately, Mr. Kittyfish. But it's still a beautiful sunrise today. It's a little churned up, but still getting a few bites here and there. I had a bite on the big rod. All it did is manage to chew up the bait, didn't get hooked, unfortunately. Got a bite on this rod. This rod's in pretty close. There's a trough, once again, close to the beach. Don't need to cast out more than about 20 to 30 yards. See what we got here. Oh, it's a whiting. Not a keeper whiting, but it's a whiting. Good bait size. I may keep him for bait. I don't know yet. Surf's a little churned up and a little dirty because of the hurricanes to the south. It's got the ocean stirring a little bit. But we're going to keep fishing until about 10:30. It's about 8:15 right now. Going to keep pushing through and see if we can get some fish on there. I've had a request or two, people asking me how I actually bait up my hook when I catch these fish. So I usually put a piece of fish bites on there. This one's clam flavored. I do use shrimp and sand flea, but this one happens to be clam. I'm going to put another piece down here on the bottom. This one here is sand flea. I don't usually use a large strip. You can see I cut about a 1/2 inch strip. Then I take a little piece of shrimp here and I just pop it off, and then I just tip the hook. Now this happens to be frozen shrimp, but I use fresh dead shrimp also. So I put a little piece on the hook like that, get another piece down here for the bottom hook, and that usually will entice a whiting to bite, pompano. Occasionally you'll catch other things, drum, everything on this. Normally this is how it works. A little bit of shrimp, get it doubled back on itself a little bit. And then as you can see, looking at the rig, I got a pretty good little clump of bait here and there, and send that out. This one I'm going to put out about 20-25 yards in the close trough. See if I can catch something up close. All right, I'm going to show the baiting up a second one. You'll notice that I tie my own rigs and I don't use the same color line. I use clear line and I use red line. Haven't used yellow line yet, but I found this red line doesn't show up very well for the fish. Plus it's been mimicking the red slime that's been down here. I use a pair of scissors, kitchen shears, and I cut pieces that are maybe 1/3 of an inch long. You can see these hooks are a little more curved than the others. I use 2 different types of hooks, and this one's just beads. And that yellow and then an orange bead on top there is supposed to represent to the fish the eggs on a sand flea. You can see my Sputnik has seen better days. It's got hung up on a few things here and there. Take a look at that. A little piece, like a 1/2 inch piece or so, fish bites or fish gum, and then a little piece of fresh cut dead shrimp. I'll show you how I rig my poles up. You can look down here and you can see that I have pockets of pre-tied rigs. I try to keep about 30 to 35 rigs tied with different types of line, different types of pill floats, regular floats, pompano floats, and then I have rigs that are just straight up line, because you never know what they're going to be hitting on, so I switch them if I'm not catching any fish. This one has is just clear line with a bead on there, and then I go to my red line type. Then I have red lines that have just beads on them, and then on my other rigs I have red line with pill, and then I have red line that have pill and pompano floats. So these are the type of rigs that I use. I'm going to send this one out far, so I'm going to go ahead and go with a pill and a pompano float there. Like I said, I keep about 30 to 35 of these things hooked up. And since I'm going to send this one out a ways, I've got a 4-ounce Sinker Guys Sputnik I'm going to put on the back of this one, so I can get it out there about 75 plus yards. Once I get down to my rod, you'll see that I have a clip at the top. It's attached to my main line. That's so I can easily clip in leaders. If hooks gets cut off by a bluefish, or it just gets broken, or I lose one, or it snaps off, I can easily clip in a brand new leader. It only takes a second. Once again, I make all my own leaders. It's much cheaper and it's much more effective. You know, for a few cents a piece, not a big deal. Don't pay $2 or $3 for leaders when you can make them yourself. Each leader takes maybe 3 minutes to make. If you're like me, I got a workbench out of my garage. I put these leaders together. It just takes a few minutes. Every time I go fishing, a lot of times my leaders will get torn up. I just cut them up and I can reuse the hooks, the floats, everything. You can recycle all of your hooks and floats. Eventually they get worn out, but it takes a while. And that's what it looks like when you're all finished. Sputnik on the bottom, 2 hooks, and then a clip at the top on a swivel. Got another small one coming in. This one was caught way out, but we'll see what it is. Might be a small whiting. Yeah, another small whiting. So catching them far and near. I'm just south of Cocoa Beach near Patrick Space Force Base. This is probably about a 8, 9 inch whiting, a little bit below a keeper size, but still catching a few fish. Whatever this is was a pretty decent hit. Feels like he's still on there, so we'll see. This rod got smacked pretty hard, but it's just dead weight. Feels more like a catfish or something. I don't know. It's not running or fighting at all, but there is weight on the rod, which makes me think it's something like a catfish. Or a shark grabbed it after it got hit. We'll see. That's what the problem is. It's a little catfish, but a big chunk of seaweed on the bottom. Now that the storm's starting to blow in a little bit, seagrass is starting to blow in too. So what I got here is a clump of seagrass and a small catfish. Still catching fish, but not great fish. Looks like I got a small one coming in. This rod was in close. Feels like a whiting now that I'm getting in close. Yeah, it's a whiting. Not a bad size whiting. Just on the edge of a keeper size. Getting rinsed off so it's easier to handle here. That's right on the edge of a keeper, but I don't know if I'll keep him or not. It's been kind of slow. Catching fish, but just not at any great pace and not of any great size. I think I got one coming in here, but it's a small one. This rod was out maybe 75 to 100 yards. We'll see if it got anything on it. It feels like something's on there. Yeah, a little catfish. So far today, all I've caught is small whiting and small catfish. Show you what part of the problem is today. Yeah, as you guys know, I haven't been fishing down past south of Cocoa Beach for about a month or more because there was too much seagrass and too much red slime. No red slime anymore. Show you what I've got on my line. Every time I pull in my line, it's not as much seagrass as it was a long time ago, but still seagrass weighing down your line. Still getting some seagrass and mostly trash fish and small whiting. The surf is really chewed up, and to really get to where the fish are, you need to be able to throw at least 75 to 100 yards offshore to get to where the fish is. But fishing pretty slow today. Big rod's really slow. I've had one strike and that's it. This time of year, this beach should just be alive with fish during the mullet run, but right now, because of the way the surf is, not much going on. Got a strike on this rod, not a big one, but I'm in the process of tearing down my rods to go home for the day, and this rod got a strike on it. So we'll see if feels kind of like a catfish, but you never know. You know it's time to go when you're just catching catfish after catfish after catfish. So there's another catfish to put in the books right there. Catfish and small whiting all day. Got another fish coming in, another catfish. About 10:30 now. Remember, I'm dragging in. This is what we got going on at Cocoa Beach today. Seagrass gets tangled around your line, and there's a lot of catfish. A few whiting and a lot of catfish. Hey everybody, this is Space Coast coming at you from just south of Cocoa Beach. Kind of a slow day. Been fishing since daylight, about 7 o'clock. It's about 10:30 now. Caught a lot of catfish and a lot of small whiting. Nothing on the big rods. Didn't see a whole lot of action in the surf with fingerling mullet or the mullet run. So consequently, if there were any game fish, they were way offshore, 200-300 yards, so not really reachable by the average fisherman. Remember that I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by January 1 so I can go live at the beach with my fishing. So if you do like the content, please subscribe and like. Tight lines, everybody.